the event.
Yes.
Hey!
Nailed it. Right.
Nailed it.
Where's the go page?
Uh,
Fuck it. There's a chat window here. There you go.
yeah.
We're doing it. We're pretending we're live. We're live.
We're live. Hey, everybody.
Live studio
not
audience
interesting
of
on the
none.
phone. Yay. And for all the times people have mocked us for being late,
We are now
18 minutes early.
fucking professionals, mate.
Reason of earliness is varied and many.
Yes.
But we are early. And here we are. Well, no, it's episode 51 with me,
51.
TheSuffolkRam.
And Scazius.
Right.
No Kim this week.
No Kim. Kim, unfortunately, has had to return to North Korea. He's got some, in his words, better things to do than waste time with two lousy nerds.
Bless him. Well, thanks for joining us last time.
Yeah, he was very kind. I mean, it was nice having him here, but he was a trap, really, wasn't he? He drank all the tea.
Yeah, and he was really happy, though.
Yeah, because you give him all the bloody tea.
Yeah. Well, happy
Yeah.
tea.
And who would have thought Kim likes Pizza Hut so much?
I know.
Domino's? No, can't go near Domino's. He hates you if you go near Domino's. And, you know, Papa John's, well, forget it. But Pizza Hut loves them.
There you go. You've learnt something new.
Kim Jong likes Pizza Hut. This will now be in some news article somewhere. Facts about Kim Jong really likes Pizza Hut.
Papa John's, Domino's.
No, but Pizza Hut, he loves Pizza Hut. I am going to look out for that. It's going to appear somewhere. It's like, just spread that across the internet, please. On Facebook, post it wherever you can. Kim Jong loves Pizza Hut. Just spread it everywhere you can. Photoshop it. Put it on your Facebook. People believe anything that's on Facebook. They're idiots. Just put it on there.
Right, 4chan, get on it.
Yeah, come on, guys. We can do this. We can make this truthful statement, because it is true, because we've met him.
Yep.
We
We had proof. He was nodding and everything.
He was.
Waving
He
the
was
flag.
nodding. Waving the flag. Yeah. Do you want pizza, Kim Jong? That was not the wrong symbol to do.
Best.
Right.
North Korea is best Korea.
Indeed.
Best flag wave.
Oh yeah. Right. Games we've been playing.
I've got to say, just quickly, I haven't been playing because the game that I was going to be playing only arrived this morning.
So you can look forward to the next podcast.
Yes.
Cool.
I might actually be live streaming it tomorrow.
What, the podcast?
Yes. I'll be live streaming the podcast of not next week, but the week after tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
It was right. He'll be time warping the podcast. Well.
It is a time travel game, so it makes
Cool,
sense.
yeah, it would make sense. You see, you could have run with that. Are we going to keep it a surprise for people, or shall we let them in on the secret?
Well, if they've followed the podcast for any period of time, they'd know that the new Steins Gate game came out today in the UK.
Year of our Lord 2016.
So, yes, new Steins Gate game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're looking forward to it.
Like crazy looking forward to it.
Unfortunately, stuck here with me filming a podcast.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really looking forward to it, but it takes place after a bad ending of the first game.
Is this like a stage of you really look forward to, but you don't really want to pry it in case it's not as good as you think it's going to be? Yeah, I had that issue with Mankind Divided. I thought I really want to play this game, but if it's not as good as I think it's going to be, I'm going to be really disappointed, and that's why I'm sort of quite disappointed actually. Anyway,
what have you been playing?
I've
You've
been
actually
playing
played something.
Yes, I've been playing the delayed promised review. Well, talking about Farming Simulator 17.
What with your massive rig and your wheels?
Yeah, rig and wheels, yep. It's basically like Farming Simulator 15, but slightly better.
Okay.
So, basically, I'll just give a brief overview of Farming Simulator 15. If you can't guess from the title...
You fly planes.
Yes! No. No. There is. I think there was actually a mod where you could have a crop dusting plane in it.
That's rad.
Don't think it worked very well because the game engine wasn't designed for flying objects.
Just like...
Yeah. From what I remember reading, someone basically modified a hay bale as a physics base for something like that. I vaguely remember that. I might be I might have dreamt that, but I vaguely think that.
What the hell?
We know, like sometimes they take like a physics object as a base and then they tie stuff to it. Like Bethesda do this all the time, don't they? They have they start like a paintbrush and they actually like sort of build something around it just to create new objects as a base. It's got the code there already.
A hay bale. bale.
I have a feeling it was done with a hay bale.
The hay bale is now the basis of the universe. It's like,
Yeah, I'm making hay bales actually. So the idea is you have a farm. You start off quite small with a couple of bits of land, few basic pieces of machine.
the hay bale gets spat out by the baler and it launches across the screen because physics breaks.
Something like that. I don't know if I made Skaz laugh so hard.
That's good. That was good.
He's getting more and more
I just
high
had this
pitched.
vision of it just going. Wee.
The great thing is, our list is on with his because you got so high pitched that microphone probably can't pick it up anymore.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Right, so Farmers 17. So basic overview is you have a farm and you have some fields and you get basic equipment to start with and you plough the fields, plant crops, harvest them, sell them, and then buy bigger machinery. And you can buy animals now. They've gone a bit more heavy duty on the animals now. They're a bit more involved than they used to be, although not a great deal.
Can you put them in that wood machine where you used to cut down the trees?
No, you can't. No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately, the animals are subtle behind a fence. You can't actually sort of interact with them in any.
What's you saying? That like the not.
You can jump the
like,
fence, but you can't drive any machinery into their pen.
That's a pretty hardcore fence.
It's a pretty hard. It's only a wooden fence as well. You can jump the fence and you can interact, but you can't interact with the animals in any fun way.
Nah.
That took you saying the trick. That joke I was making.
I'm sorry. I'm still thinking about breaking physics with hay bales.
So now, as I mentioned previously, the great way farming simulator fun is to hack it. Because cheat, yeah, no, I'm just improving the enjoyment of the game for myself. Basically, you can hack the. There's still uses XML as its base sort of. You can just hack. There's a file in there, and you can just, there's a little line that says player money equals such and such, and you can just change it from whatever to whatever you want. And I would say if you hack it, give yourself about 500,000 to start with, because if you give yourself 500,000, that's about right to get some decent gear in, but not to. You can't just
totally destroy it.
No. If you want to totally destroy it, if you put 5 million, you can basically buy all the top machinery straight away, and that's all ruins some fun of it. But I think you need to give yourself a bit of a better start to make it fun.
Yeah.
So I've got my farm. I've got pigs. I've got cows. So you have to with the animals. They're a bit more in depth. Pigs are new. Pigs are a new thing they've added to this game. Previously, you can get it as a mod, but not base game. They've now added them into a bit more depth, so you have to basically give them a mix of ration. By ration I mean food. Right. So they need a mixture of wheat, potatoes, and so forth. You can buy a pre-done mix, which is perfect, but costs you a lot of money to feed them. And if you do that and you give them a mix of fashion, not mix of fashion, mix of ration.
A little hat.
Yeah, a little hat, little tweed hat, and they sort of walk and say, "Good morning to you, sir."
With a pipe.
With a pipe, yeah, and a walking cane.
That's it.
And
monocle.
Plenty of water. They basically shag.
Yeah,
and every few hours, and they're very quick shaggers. So every few hours in game, you get another pig.
Bloody hell!
Very quick shaggers, really quite fun, amazingly fast.
That reproductive cycle's ridiculous.
All I can say is this world must be full of GM. It's the only way to explain it. But then crops grow like in a day, so it's not, yeah. So get it right. You think cows are similar, but they need strawing up and stuff. So there's all sort of variations of a theme, but the main thing is sort of. You're basically at that point your farm is there to support the animal industry, so you're planting crops not to make money but to support your animals, and then you make money off them.
Is this how it was in the previous version, or?
Yeah, well, it's gradually they've added more stuff. It's back in the day when you basically all you had as animals was chickens.
Okay. And
all you could do is they lay eggs. You pick the eggs up and you sell the eggs.
Sure.
Now they added more animals into it. They've gradually got more in depth. This one's got the pigs. It's probably the most in depth version of it I've seen. Because other things you can use is that they produce like slurry and manure and so forth, which you can then use to fertilise your field. So you have this whole ecosystem going if you're clever, quite a good ecosystem, and it takes a lot to get going. You really have to sort of really balance it right and get the right mixture of fields, so it works quite well.
Sure.
Crop wise and farming, well, the actual main arable side of it has not really changed much. Tractors are better. They're a bit more in depth. They're a little bit more interactive, but they're still not proper simulated. Right. And that was my big complaint last time. Was the tractors they're not any more realistic. They're still quite bouncy physics. Mm-hmm. You can still if you're not, you can still roll them over quite easily, and then they sort of automatically tip themselves back up
because they're tied to hay bales.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that thing you can get, you can get yourself. I managed to get. Hay bales are actually indestructible. They all stop a tractor like moving.
Man, that's amazing.
They're sort of, it's not
Like
the
trees
physics.
in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but they have improved some things. The helper AI is there. They have helpers in the game, which are AIs which do like ploughing stuff for you. And that's how you basically win your farm better, because you get an AI to do it for you, and you can have 2 or 3 of them working, or as many as you want working. You then basically manage them.
Yeah.
And that works quite well, because I know it all says it's will ruin the point really, because you're not doing the.
Yeah, you're not doing the
but
actual.
when you're doing the animal stuff, you've got to do the animal stuff. You're leaving the boring animal stuff, as I do in reality. The boring animal stuff, the people who enjoy driving around tractors. And you get to do all the animal stuff. As the farm I work in does in reality, we leave the animal stuff to somebody else. And so that's quite good fun, actually. Really. And they have got better, because previous AI helpers, if they got stuck...
I do remember you saying this about the last one, that if they got stuck, that was...
They just sit there, spinning their wheels and costing you money. They just sat there for hours. You have to go check them every so often, make sure they haven't got stuck. Now, the game says, helper B is stuck, or helper B is blocked by an object, is what it actually says. The thing is, though, I thought to myself, well, why can't you program to move around the object? Why can't you like sort of set the AI out that moves around? Because the AI is still dumb. I mean, there's other cars in the game. Our car AI is still dumb. So I'll give you what's something that happened to me early on. I wanted to feed my pigs, so I drove down to the local shop, bought a load of pig feed. I had a trailer. I loaded it all onto the trailer. Got the tractor, drove off.
Yep.
Driving down the road, did a sharp right turn, just looking in my rearview mirror. I've got rearview mirrors in this one. I just see all the pallets just flying off the trailer, landing in the field next to it. Shit.
Good job.
Yeah. Luckily, I spotted them before I'd gone to during my way to the peaks, and they would have been really pissed. So I just stopped the tractor on the wrong side of the road with the trailer on.
As you do.
Ran back over, got the telehandler, and got back the telehandler. Started tipping these pallets over to put them back onto the trailer, and a car comes on the correct side of the road and stops for the tractor. It's like, oh, fine, okay. Because I'm not very good at the telehandler, because 12 games is not quite the same as real life, because there's no real feedback that you know you're getting it right, so it's not perfect. It took me quite a while to get these pallets back, these 2 pallets of feed back onto the trailer, because they'd all rolled over and everything. I then looked up the road, and there were 25 cars. I blocked, but not one of them had just driven around me. Great. I actually saw drive. Like, that's quite a. I've really caused quite a major traffic jam. There's only about 3 types of cars, and it's just like white car, pickup, white car, pickup, white car, pickup, white car. It's like, this is quite a major traffic jam. Because and so I had to sort of eventually move the tractor at the way, and eventually the cars did sort of go away. But you know,
they're the most patient
they are.
people.
I was in game time. I was there about 2 hours doing that.
They're just like. Yeah, well,
he'll move in a minute. He'll get past it all in a minute.
I was supposed to be at that wedding, a couple hours ago. I missed that flight. That surgery can wait.
Yeah. So basically, they all went on their way. I mean, in Euro Truck, if you block the road, they actually people flash their lights at you and honk their horns and stuff.
I never noticed. I'm usually driving too fast.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Euro Truck for that.
That was
I still can't reverse. You
need to come try out my rig.
Yeah, your setup does look pretty badass.
You
with the
can
wheel
try it. Yeah, you can.
Because I've only ever played with the
arcade
setup.
version. It's very difficult arcade version. Yeah, I first think they've tried so hard and focused Farm Simulator at being able to use arcade because it's on the consoles as well.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be able to use it with an Xbox controller. Now, realistic driving physics or a tractor which has 24 gears would be quite difficult with an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
So I can understand why it's quite arcadey, but it'd still be nice if there's a realism setting you could turn up to make it really in depth. I want to use all my gears and proper sort of get the right gear for the field because it isn't very smart. I mean, when you're going to field a piece of machinery, basically most of the time you're driving at the right speed anyway. It will slow you down to the speed you need to. It's like, oh, that's just a little bit boring.
So, do you think maybe? I mean, do you know which version has the bigger player base, like console or PC?
I don't, but I'd imagine it'd be PC.
Sure, because I was going to say, do you think that the reason that they haven't kind of upped the realism any is because of the console version?
Presumably, because they've gone straight to console this time. Last time they delayed the release of the console, and this time they've launched with it. So presumably they must have got enough sales to make it worth their while.
Sure.
I can't believe it because I would imagine Sims tend to be a PC dominated. There aren't many Sims on consoles. So I mean, you wouldn't see X-Plane on a console, would you? Really?
No.
Well, I said there's probably a version of X-Plane for the console I don't know about. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was on there. I suppose my big gripe with it is my big gripe is it hasn't really changed that much. You get 2 game maps in it, and their big advertiser. You can play in the US now. I played the US map. I had to stop playing. It was just too patriotic. It was just flag. Everywhere you look with flags.
Is that the main difference? The
Pretty
American
much.
version is.
But the thing is, you like this, it gets better. No, the other main difference is in the US version. You're in America.
like
You've got
flags
you've got flags everywhere. Big farmhouse with a flag. I mean, a humongous flag. It's got
your tractors painted in stars and stripes.
the farmhouse has got like 6 doors going into it. It's like, how many back doors do you need? It's humongous. Big farmhouse, everything's all nice and quite modern and so forth. Then you play something called Saviska, which is obviously, now bear in mind, this is a European developer, okay, so this is them representing their own little homeland, as it were. They obviously place, but I'm guessing it's meant to be like based on like the Ukraine or Russia, some sort of Soviet place, because it's an absolute shithole. Literally, you build your basically your house is like a small little shack. In that one, you can't go in the house. The whole place is just like, all the buildings like empty and desolate, old concrete building. Everything looks dreary. I still prefer it because it's got hardly flags in it. I still prefer. Honestly, that's the one I play. I prefer it to the US one. And you got more space for your machine. It's just so damn and dreary.
You're looking at it.
I'm going, come on, guys. You're European. Make a nice place. I mean, there are nice parts of the former Soviet Union out there. It's not
my tractor's worth more than my entire farmhouse.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think they missed a trick here because it's got multiplayer. But it'd be really nice if they could actually perhaps make it a little bit more involved. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if there was like rather than you all farming together,
multiplayer?
Yeah, you can farm up to 16 other people. But I think it'd be nice is rather than that is if you had all individual farms on your site.
Yeah.
And you could all have your own little set of fields and machinery, so you could have your own little bits, but then you could go and have to help. Could do contract with people could pay contract work, and then you could have things like a pub, and you could all, when it gets dark and evening, you could all go to the pub and have a drink and talk to each other. And your house, you could do that would be a nice sort of add-on for the game to sort of have that little bit more social aspect to it if you want to do that. Because I'd like to sort of get drunk with a bunch of virtual farmers.
That's pretty neat. That would be pretty neat. Was it because didn't multiplayer start as a mod in one of the previous games?
I believe so.
Sure.
I believe it was a mod, but then they put it in properly. I think since 2013, because they went from calling it 2013, 2015 to just 15, 17.
Sure.
I think 2013 had multiplayer. I'm pretty sure of that.
All right, interesting.
But 15 definitely did, and 17 is dark. It has 16 other players. I think you can farm with, which would be quite. That sounds like a nice idea. You could have someone ploughing, someone seeding, someone baling.
Yeah.
That sounds quite fun actually. I think that'd be quite good to have that sort of interaction if you can get a group of people who you. Like most multiplayer games, you rely on people you like and get on
someone
with.
You trust.
Yeah, so I imagine a little group of farmy people. I've actually got a friend of mine who would love to play some multiplayer. It's a pity he lives in the countryside. He's got a shit internet connection. He's on satellite. He gets like 2 meg.
Bless.
Sometimes.
And don't you just think the target market just isn't? They just can't play it. They can't play it with their mates, damn it, because they just don't have the internet connection.
Yeah. There's a collector's edition as well.
What's in the collector's edition?
No idea. I think you get a map, and I think you get like
a map.
I think you get like a little.
There's the field. There's the anti-gravity hay bales.
I think you get a little Tinker Toy type thing, a little tractor in it as well. I think you get a massive Ferguson tractor actually.
I did see the kind of legitimate simulator rig. That you could get for.
Yeah,
I don't know
that was
have
made
they
by
updated
that was by Satec. No, that was Satec who made that. And if you go on its store, listed with Pharmacare 15 on it also.
Is it still made out of spit and cable ties?
I think so. It looks pretty plasticky. See, I looked at a photo of it. That looks quite.
So I'm sure
it's quite expensive. It's about 160 odd quid, but it look quite cheap and plasticky.
I was going to say I was sure they'd made some reasonable HOTAS systems for games like Elite Dangerous. But,
yeah.
I'd rather. When I looked at that the kind of farming simulator one, I was like,
that looks very cheap and plasticky. Yeah. I mean, I looked at the. I'd rather get a HOTAS over that.
Yeah.
Because a HOTAS you can use with lots of other things.
Yeah.
I'd rather, and it's got more controls on it. In some ways,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'd rather have a HOTAS. It might be you'd be the most extreme tractor ever. Drill throttles, joystick, lots of little a big one that says launch missile. It's like engage plough, launch hay bale. I think that'd be quite cool.
The tractor starts flying.
Yeah, but that's Final Fantasy 17. So I'm enjoying it. It's still not quite advanced enough for my liking.
I'm tempted to take a crack at it, to be honest, because I did say I'd have a go at Euro Truck Simulator for a laugh, and I found that to be ridiculously fun.
Yeah.
Considering all I was doing was winging an Arctic lorry around the
It's amazing how fun Euro Truck
UK.
Simulator actually is, and all you do is drive places. And
That's
all
it.
you do, you drive places and deliver cargo. You go, yes, I did my job well.
Rocket.
And you park up and you look at it, you just watch the figures and go, please be 0% damage. I know I clipped a couple of cars. Please be 0%
I
damage.
know I clipped a couple of cars, fucking jackknifed as I was coming
Rolled
up
it.
the A12.
Rolled it because I just I switched the restrictor off and was doing 120 miles an hour, missed my turning, and just tried to make it anyway.
Stop fucking, I'm going off-road.
Well, you know when you go in Euro Truck, you get to the ones that go onto the motorways that are like the long sweeping curves, and you don't have to slow right down for that.
Dude, I hate taking those even on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
So doing those in an Arctic-
I tried doing that. I literally, oh, here we go. Whoa!
It's like, oh, here we go.
I was like,
Where's it gone?
recovery team. Yeah, I need your help. I'm kind of on my side.
I'm in a ditch, lads.
Yeah, hello, as the customer. You know that you know that valuable cargo you had. That wasn't anything expensive, was it? Oh, prices antique vases, right?
Ooh.
We've had a little bit of an issue.
What's your insurance like?
Yeah. Well, this madman came at me, and I had to swerve at 100 miles an hour to avoid him. Unfortunately, he knocked the back of the trailer over.
Does your insurance cover incompetence? No? Oh.
Neither does mine. Hello, Aviva. What is my liability?
Oh, God.
You see how topical we discuss insurance on podcasts.
Fucking... you need to know this stuff, just
I
in
tell
case.
you what, if Sims implemented insurance, that would be the the amount my premiums would be going through the roof of farming. The amount of cars.
Could you imagine if they tied that into a real life
The amount
bank
of
account?
the amount of
Microtransactions.
Yeah, insurance. The amount of cars I've knocked over or semi-deliberately knocked over, or accidentally tried to lift up the telehandler to see if I could. Only to find
Just if you can. Oh,
well, I
fuck
saw
you,
drove
mate.
this. Well, the thing is, tractors aren't known to be fast, are they? 26 miles an hour is pretty much the limit your tractor can go. I can overtake other cars, my telehandler, which is doing 26 miles an hour. I can drive behind them. I thought, pass by the time, I'll just try and sort of nudge you out the way. And so I put the forks down and just sort of drove behind it, tried to sort of go underneath the car and tried to lift it up, and the back of the tail end lift off the ground instead, because the car sort of stuck. It's sort of stuck to the ground. So basically, something's got to move. The car, the telehandler, the car stuck to the ground, so the telehandler moves instead.
That's brilliant. Excellent physics.
It is
Excellent.
The physics are so hilariously bad in it. It's unbelievable.
I
I've not tried running someone over a baler yet. That's my next goal. I have to say I found one civilian in the whole game. I want to try and run him over with a baler.
Can you kill, I don't know, we need to try this, I need to get this game so we can try multiplayer, and I want to try and run away from you as you try and mangle me with something.
Track combine.
It's like, no, run!
Yeah. How to efficiently shear sheep, drive a combine from the field.
Oh, best way.
Final Fantasy 16. Interesting game.
Gotta try it.
Gotta try it.
Game of the year.
Probably not. We have got Game of the Year coming up in a couple podcasts time.
Do we?
Yes.
Any ideas?
Well.
No, spoiler. Alright.
Spoilers.
Okay.
Spoilers.
I don't know what my game of the year is going to be. What was my game of the year last year?
I can't remember.
Did I have a game of the
You
year
did.
last year?
It's something stupid, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like...
I'm going to say game of the year this year is going to be Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. But that came out in the 1980s. Yeah, whatever. I don't play games. But no, I work on Linux now. Game of the year 2017, Calculator. Yeah.
Have you not got Minesweeper yet?
No. No. Don't be silly, an actual game. God.
I thought that was Maxwell meant to have games in it. My game on the MacBook is a piece of presentation software.
Oh man!
Look at the fancy website I made using Apple iWeb.
Yeah, now redundant.
Right, moving on. Film review, or actually TV review.
We have a
couple.
TV show.
We have two TV shows actually.
Ooh.
First one is Westworld. Now, have you? Now, you were you know the original Westworld film, I'm assuming, back in done 1970s. Michael Crichton, sort of like the test version of Jurassic Park. No, it's got Yul Brynner in it.
Yeah, brain is skipped.
So
I may have done.
it's about this futuristic, the 1970s film is like this futuristic park where there's lots of, basically it's called Westworld because it's set in the Wild West. People pay to go there, and you go as a tourist base, but there's lots of other characters in the form of robots. And the idea is you can shoot them and have fights and so forth, but you can't be harmed. The gun's designed so they can't kill a human.
Okay.
So you can shoot the robots, they don't go down and die and all sorts basically. And it's meant to sort of pretend to be a Wild West character, so forth. Well, the reimaged version, it's set in a park called Westworld, where you have lots of now, interestingly, they've sort of moved on a bit. They are artificial beings, but they're not. And the one they call them hosts. But they're not robots per se. The original versions were, but the new ones are like, it's almost like they've been made with a 3D printer. They're like sort of made of lots of small components. It looks like when you see them being manufactured, it's almost like they're being printed. Okay. But they're proper printed on the ground, so bones, organs, everything. And they basically are hosts. And the way the world works in the game is, in the TV series, is you pay to go. There's $40,000 a day if you want to attend. So it's quite expensive, but you go there, and the best way I can describe it's like a real life MMO. Like best one would be Guild Wars actually, because these hosts have set routines. So you have one host who I've completely forgotten her name. She's the main character, and I've just completely Dolores, I think's her name. Doris. I've completely forgot her name. This is a good start. So her routine was get up, say I'm on to her father, have a chat with him, go into town, get some supplies, come back a bit, meet up with her ex-boyfriend, or rekindle boyfriend called Teddy. Then they would go back to the farm, find out that bandits have raided it. They would go up there. Teddy would kill one of the bandits, but then get shot by the other one. Then she would get dragged off by the bandit, and he would have to watch her get basically took to a barn and raped. Okay. Then the next day it starts again, repeats the whole cycle. But the thing is, when they actually get injured, they have to be took off and repaired and so forth. They're not like digital; they are physical beings. Yeah. The TV program starts where you've got this guy called Dr. Ford, who's played by Anthony Hopkins. Okay. It's got Anthony Hopkins and Ed Harris in it. This is one hell of a good series. Yeah, it's like, okay. Aaron Copton's doing his best Hannibal Lecter impression. No, he basically he starts by introducing a new upgrade. They introduce a new upgrade to some of the hosts. And he has this thing called reminisce. And what they are, basically allows the host to vaguely remember their what they've done in the past. Vaguely. So it allows them to develop like individual tics and like quirks, but only like little ones, like sort of rubbing the lips in a certain way and that sort of thing, to make them seem more human. Right.
This is going to go horribly wrong.
Yes, it does start going wrong because some hosts start remembering more of their previous what's going on. They almost get like get like deja vu. Now the hosts of programs, if they see something that doesn't make sense to them, they sort of basically there's a phrase that you say that says doesn't seem like anything to me. Which is basically, you get interested early on in the series, that's a phrase saying, I don't know what this is. So, for example, if you showed a host a picture of, like, modern-day New York, they just go, doesn't look like anything to me. They just blank it out. They're designed not to register it. Sure. And if you tell them something, you're an artificial being and stuff, they just don't understand it. Yeah. But occasionally, some of them go slightly mad. And the series shows this by having one of the hosts find a photograph and he can't compute it, and he basically goes a bit Jalali, and he ends up getting replaced. Spoiler alert for the pilot. Sorry, I've just realised. So that's the part. So the main series takes place. You follow basically a couple of the hosts, and they start to understand what's going on around them. They get very more and gradually take control. You also follow the sort of political ramblings of the park management, because you see a lot of the background side. So you've got this chap called Bernard, who's a programmer, who's heavily with Ford. But then the park is owned by this other group. The people who own the park are basically really want to get rid of Ford. But Ford's been very clever in that he's got all the information about the host he's got on the park. He won't let it out. So they're scared if they try and fire him, he'll just delete it all.
Okay.
Now they want this. They as far as they're concerned, the park is just a research project. They want something more out of it, and I'm guessing to be military applications of some sort because the hosts are so realistic. You shoot them, they bleed properly. But they're incredibly tough. They can be like shot multiple times and they just heal up and they're back working the next day fine as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I think that's the idea. They're going to want to be military product of some sort. There's always some sort of military purpose where these where some company wants it. Everything, no matter what it is, it's always military purposes. I mean, look at Umbrella and what were they thinking? So there's sort of political. You've got the political aspect of these two sides basically try and sort of control of the park and what's going on, and trying to understand why the hosts are behaving slightly erratically. You've also got these two players, for want of a better word, who experience these two players. You've got this guy, and the thing is, they make me think of if me and you played a computer game together.
Right.
This guy's called William, and I think the other guy's called Loach. I think is his name. And basically, William he's a nice guy. He's really interested in sort of like following the storylines. And it's quite funny because he walked through a town at the start. And Loach has been there to the park multiple times before. But William is like, he's taking with him as a first time as a newbie.
Yeah.
And they walk through the town. This host, old man, falls over. Mm-hmm. And William sort of runs over and sort of helps him up. And Loach says, "Oh, don't do that. Don't interact with the host. They'll get you involved in a side quest." And he says he'll get into some bullshit find a treasure side quest. Don't do it. And sure enough, when they're having dinner, the old man comes over and says, "Son, you help me out. I want to tell you about this treasure mine I find." It's like the side quest. So they're basically the host. It's like an MMO, or like a MMO/Bethesda game where you have lots of people sign. They sort of say, "Oh, you are saying, come give me a hand," and so forth.
Yeah, that really does remind me of Guild Wars 2 with the living story. And
yes,
stuff like that.
Yeah, that's my fault. When I sort of thought this is like watching Guild Wars. It's like that sort of style, the way the hosts reset every sort of day or so. Or some have longer periods when they reset over long times, and they basically so. You follow these two guys. Now, Loach is basically, he's just there to basically he wants to just go black. You get to choose to be white hat or black hat. So white hat, you go for the goody two-shoes stuff, and then black hats go for you join the bandits and so forth and sort of fight things. And basically, he basically wants to do that. And, if like a host starts to annoy him, he just shoots him. Yeah. And this old guy treasure map, the guy wouldn't leave him alone. He's talking to William, and the guy wouldn't leave him alone. So Loach just literally gets a fork and stabs him through the hand. And William sort of said to him at one point, "How do you know if these guys are hosts?" I said, "There's one way to find out. He just goes to shoot somebody." So I was like, "No, don't do that." I said, "I was okay. I can't kill a human. I can only kill hosts." And that's him. So basically, he just mocks around completely the game characters, which makes me think of you. Which makes William me, and he would be, because I'd be so really involved in the storyline, trying to say, "Yes, I'll go on this treasure quest, and I want to be able to goody two-shoots, and you want to join the bandits."
Hey, I've been there, I've done this before.
Honestly,
mate.
When you watch it, just substitute William and Loach with me and you. Okay, honestly, and it's basically how we would play Westworld. And William at one point banned his Loach, which is what I would do. Fuck you, Scaz. Stop messing around and ruin the game for me. I'm going to have a look at you behind. That is basically what would happen.
Right, I'm now going to have to watch this. I'm going to have to watch this show, and I'm going to be like, "God damn it, Nick! Stop being a pussy."
But that's what exactly.
Ram, stop helping that old man. Get out of the way, old man.
There is another character in it though, played by Harris, and he's only known as the Man in Black. And all we know some bits and pieces about him. I won't spoil him too much, but basically, he's a long-term player. He's come to park for years and years and years. And now he's trying to find what basically is like an Easter egg in the park. There's this place called we don't know if it's a place or thing or concept. It's called the Maze, and he's heard about it. And it's nothing that's none of the hosts recognise, but the hosts some hosts have got it like programmed into them, like background. So in the first episode, these are spoilers for the pilot. He scalps somebody, but he has the maze tattooed in his head. Okay, so he's got like a reference of it and so forth. And he basically is a griefer. He will do things to happily mess up completely the park's narrative, because there's also that they can break narrative slightly to affect things. Yeah. So, for example, he manages to trick the game into the world into launching this guy launching an assault on a town 2 days early. Yeah. Which messes up a load of other narratives. Yeah. And he's willing to and he's nasty. I mean, he's willing to just it's not a big secret. The main reason the hosts are there, a lot of people use them for, is basically to have sex with them or rape them and so forth. Okay. Because they're considered artificial beings. No one
Deepest,
really
darkest
cares.
desires, everyone's just going all out mental.
Yeah, well, one of the things to say is find out who you really are, is what they say, I think, and that sort of thing that people just go. And the first few meeting this man in black is he drags this host off and rapes, and it's implied he rapes her.
Okay.
But later on, it's perhaps not quite. He might have actually just killed her instead. It's a bit ambiguous. I think he raped her.
Sure.
So he's not a nice guy. But then a lot of people are in the game. They in the world. They don't really. They're just artificial beings. They don't care. It's like sort of any sex doll or sex toy to them. They don't care. So he's based on this quest to try and find this maze, and he's happy to sort of completely mess at the park. And even when he does things that like the park staff say, look, this guy's completely and utterly fucking us up. Should we stop him? And they say, no, he's a VIP. We can't touch him.
He's paid to.
But no, he's a VIP. He's done whatever he's done. I'm guessing he's somehow bankrolled the park or gone out park. He basically can do what the hell he likes.
Sure.
And they won't. They might alter things slightly to sort of try and keep it in check, but they won't. Because it's implied that the park was designed to be family friendly.
Okay.
So there's like early on, there's at one point they detect a family of children approaching one of the shootouts, and they basically just jam all the guns.
Yeah.
They like remote controlly jam all the guns, so they can't be used anymore.
Sure.
And that's so they basically the family won't see loads of people being shot to death and so forth.
Sure.
They have so the family friendly side, and there's taught and early on one of the guys mentions we must keep this side of the river. There's a river that runs through parts, so I'm guessing the river's like I said, like if you go this side, it's adult content. If you say this side, it's like family friendly content.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's a really interesting series. I'm hooked, so hooked. I literally it's only 10 episodes in the first season. We're now up to episode 8. Episode 9 comes out on Tuesday.
Sure.
I'm really hooked on it. Really, it's so well characterized. This is a J.J. Abrams series, which is they're a bit hit and miss series, but they usually start good.
Okay.
It's why I thought so you're
crossing your fingers at this point.
Yeah, J.J. Alias started good, then it got a bit weird. Lost started okay, got a bit weird. Fringe was really good all the way through. The one we talked about last year. The one
I still don't think I've that's on my list.
Yeah, Fringe is really good. That was a good series all the way through, pretty much. And I hope this will be one of the last ones. What I want to do is basically, I think this is going to be one of the series that you mustn't drag out too long. Mm-hmm. They've been renewed for a second series of 10. My gut feeling is that probably should be it. Just write it. Don't try and drag this out for 4 or 5 seasons, because I don't think they can, because it's clear where the part where it's heading. Yeah. And I just rather they're going to drag it out, it's going to become shit.
They're going to pull a Lost. Lost had a pretty clear. It was going somewhere at one point and then just went completely off the fucking rails.
Yeah. So and it's involved. The main guy brought to screen was Christopher Nolan's brother. Oh. I can't remember his name either. Someone Nolan. Dark Knight. The new.
Yeah. Yeah. But still.
Yeah. Inception. So he's So it's all put. So it's a really good series. I strongly recommend you watch it. It's if you like, it's not really heavy on the sci-fi, but it's sci-fi elements. It's mainly character story driven, and it's really good character story driven. And some of the characters, there's some. It's quite a dark series. There's a lot of implied rape and pillaging and people getting shot and killed quite gruesomely. Because the host, no one cares.
Sure.
It's quite people get their heads bashed in. It's quite gruesome, but it's a good series nonetheless.
Sure.
The next one I want to talk about is the Grand Tour.
Right, I did want to watch this because the funny thing is it came out the day before Inky's birthday.
Yeah.
I'm subbed to Amazon Prime literally just so I could watch.
It's awesome.
Yeah, really. I've heard that the way that it was shot and the way that it was all put together makes anything that was done in previous Top Gears look like absolute
They've got something like £2.5 million budget per episode. Something silly like that. Literally, the first part of it is the guys driving to a soundstage in the middle of the desert. There's planes doing flybys, and they've got this big tent. The idea is, Grand Tour. It is what I call proper Top Gear. Mm-hmm. So Top Gear was good, and then the BBC, there's a slight issue with David Clarkson, who did go beyond the pound, did punch when he shouldn't have, and it did get a bit silly, and BBC sacked him. And then they replaced him. Well, they replaced the whole cast because they all left. So
yeah, they all sided with Clarkson. They said that without him, it wouldn't
be right. So we're going to go. Mm-hmm. So the BBC said, right, okay, we'll cast it, and they got Chris Evans and Matt LeBlanc. And from all things I've heard, is absolute fucking shit.
Yeah, I refuse to watch it.
Same. I refused to. I thought I'm not going to even bother. I
didn't even entertain pirating an episode to see what it was like.
It was like, but basically, it went completely and utterly PC. You know, the reason I like Clarkson, I don't necessarily would like this, but the reason I like is that he'll push the boundaries and he'll say things that we shouldn't say, that BBC wouldn't say. I like that. I like the fact he's able to take a risk. And I think generally he does it for, not to actually make, be a serious point, but more, a lot of time it's just to be taking the mick, taking the piss, which it's a very British thing to do. Yes. We take the piss at people all the time, but there are other people who don't quite get that sense of humour. I understand the different cultures, different things, but he's happy to do that.
Yep.
But the Grand Tour is back to form, so it's literally it's pretty much the exact same format as Top Gear. Because I was worried when I first heard about it, I thought it was just going to be like, the special they did where they drive, just if the 3 cars each do a big drive, and it's just a big film about the drive. I was worried it was going to be just like that, but it's not. It's basically Top Gear. It's literally, they come in, there's a studio, they have like a news segment, although it's not, they didn't call it news, they call it something odd, like things we like to talk about.
Because even during the trailer, they made it clear that they were just fucking about. Because did you see the trailer when they were talking about how they were trying to name it, and they were in one of them like little porta cabins?
Yeah, no, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, they're basically like dicking around, and it's just the 3 of them spitballing ideas for the name, and it came across just like an episode of Top Gear. They were just fucking about, and that's
and it's the same when you watch it. It's basically exactly like Top Gear. They seem to have ditched the celebrity section, which I'm not bothered about at all, because to me, the weakest part of the whole episode was celebrity sections. I didn't like them. The first episode's an hour and 10 minutes. So it's a long episode, and it's just a normal Top Gear episode. It's funny, what they call the Grand Tour is their studio moves every week.
Okay.
So this week they're in the US, because it's also clearly designed to sell to the US market. Amazon are thinking we can get into the US market here, because it's inside the US, and the Stig is not obviously BBC property. They now have the American.
Oh, okay.
Who's a NASCAR driver. They joke saying we had to teach him what a right-hand corner was when he first came over. And who drives with their cars, but he basically if it's not American, he thinks it's communist. And mocks it.
Right.
So they have him driving all the cars around the track, so forth. They interact with the studio. The studio is also a bit smaller, a bit more. They sit behind a wooden table, basically, like the wooden, sort of like trestle table type things, which they sit behind. But it's the idea is their next week is going to be something completely different. It's going to be in Johannesburg or something, and then it's going to move around. In actual fact, I nearly had tickets to go see it. My sister, my sister said, "Oh, well, we don't go." I was going to buy you a Christmas present today. I said, "Oh, what was it?" She said, "It was tickets to watch the film of the Grand Tour." I said, "Oh, where's that?" "Oh, it's in Loch Ness." I said, "Oh, right, okay." So Mum said, "Put me off it because it's too far away." I said, "I would go to Loch Ness." Mother said to me, said, "Do you know where Loch Ness is?" I said, "Well, last time I checked, it was in Scotland." Unless it's moved itself. Scotland, I would have got a plane and flown there. I would have gone to it. Oh, well, we didn't. Oh,
we'd have ran there, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I would have gone to the Grand. I would love to go to it, but we didn't, so oh well. So there you go.
There you go.
I'm just there we are getting comments through, just no one's watching us. I hope we're broadcasting.
Oh well, we're recording at least.
Yeah, we're recording something.
Fuck it, whilst you're doing it, I'll check because I'm good like that.
Yeah, go to the watch page.
Yeah, we're
broadcasting, we're live, but no one's watching us.
No one gives a shit.
It's probably because it's a Friday.
Yeah.
But literally, it's proper. It's like Top Gear properly. It's exactly the same as Top Gear, same format, and I'm glad because they haven't fucked with it. Good. They start a bit of a bang, and it's just like it's great from the start, and I was laughing throughout the whole thing. It is literally, I think it's currently got a rating of 9.6 on IMDb.
Yeah.
And Amazon obviously won't push it because it's going out to 200 countries in December. 200 countries are going to be able to
push.
What a push.
I mean, have you seen the advertising? The amount of money they must have spent on the advertising must be fucking ridiculous.
I tell you what, they're going to make that back. Mm-hmm. They are definitely going to make it back. And I would imagine if you're a BBC producer right now, you're going to be bloody kicking yourself.
Yeah.
Why the hell did you get rid of that money cow that is Clarkson?
They knew Top Gear was one of their biggest things.
It was the biggest. It was the BBC Two's most highest rated TV series and one of their biggest franchises. Not anymore. No. Yeah, we could watch Top Gear and watch because basically Top Gear was watching a bunch of lads piss about, really, wasn't it? Yeah. It wasn't really about cars. It was a bunch of lads piss about.
Once upon a time, it was the car magazine TV show,
and then it got re-imaged in what we know now.
Yeah, as Top Gear.
And
from what I understand, Clarkson owned the name Top Gear up until
Well, he was
few years
he was
back.
editor of the magazine as well, wasn't he? At one point.
At one
He was,
point, yeah.
yeah.
But then
I
he
think-
sold off the name to the BBC or something like that. And then he got
I
moved.
think he was involved with the production studio as well. I think he might actually own the production
Oh,
studio.
right.
I have a feeling something. It's some shenanigans because he's heavily involved in it. I know that much.
That's practically his baby.
It is,
Let's
yeah.
be fair.
It is.
Who did we say Ginger Snap was?
Chris Evans.
Yeah, fucking
Oh,
him.
I loved it. Did you? There was a caption on the newspapers, and it says Top Gear ticks all the PC boxes: woman, foreign woman, white, black, ginger.
Oh god. See, from what I heard, right, everyone said that Clarkson was a bit of a princess, a bit of a queen at the back. You know, he was dancing around. He'd always be like, "You have to do this for me. You have to do that. I expect this kind of food, and I want."
I
it
can
this time,"
believe
and all
that,
kind of
Clarkson.
stuff.
I can believe that.
But then they said as soon as fucking Ginger Snap got in, imagine Clarkson,
But a lot worse.
and then turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, really? Like, so apparently he was a royal dickhead, and they were regretting it near enough the moment they got him on set.
Yeah, I heard that as well. And also because a lot of the production stuff jumped ship as well. Because Andy Willman, who produced Top Gear, is producing the Grand Tour.
Sure.
And I feel a lot of production stuff have jumped ship to the Grand Tour as well. So they've kept most of the production team.
Well, let's be fair, wouldn't you? You've
Oh,
built
hell
up
yeah.
a relationship with these people over all these
Yeah.
years.
and you know it's not going to be successful without the trio.
Yeah, for sure.
So of course you're going to jump ship. I'd jump ship, definitely. Particularly if the amount of money Amazon was throwing at it.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it's honestly, you've got to watch it. It's proper Top Gear, and if you like Top Gear, you'll love the Grand Tour.
So now what we'll be saying is, so from now on, if you want to watch the Grand Tour, you don't watch, faux Grand Tour. You watch
That's
Grand
where
Tour.
everybody. Do you know what
We're going to stop. The
That's
phone
where
tours.
everybody is because the Grand Tour comes out tonight, doesn't it?
Is it?
It's on tonight, isn't it? Well,
I
it's
thought it
released
was out-
tonight.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So everybody's watching. That's why we've got no. That explains it. They're all watching a decent program.
Rather than listen to us or watch us talk about it.
Oh, fuck you all.
Bastards!
No, we love you, really.
How is it?
Is it good?
What's
Can you let
going
us
on?
know?
Quick play-by-play. We're missing it. Oh, see you, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Excuse me. I just need to get my phone out. I need to start
Yeah,
streaming.
just like
so
prop
it's-
onto the side. Oh god. See, I have to be honest with you. I was so psyched to watch it. But that's another one of those ones that I've just kind of put on the background.
Yeah,
I'm
this
just gonna
one
let it
won't.
simmer
This one
for a
won't
bit.
disappoint you.
Cool.
I won't disappoint you. You need to watch it. It won't disappoint you. It's that.
I'm so glad when it all kicked off as well. I was like, surely they can't sack Clarkson. They can't sack him. And
No,
then,
I honestly thought they wouldn't shut down. Hey, what's this?
it's so divine. Stone cold. Yes, live, mate. We are live.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they I could not believe they were going to sack him. When they even
They
threatened.
didn't technically sack him. They just didn't renew his contract,
Well,
which is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But technically, he wasn't sacked.
I was so glad when the other two said, "Now we're out."
Yeah, I was really glad of that. I actually, my opinion on them it shows actually they must be quite good friends.
Yes.
Because the fact they said, you know what, no, it's not going to be the same for him. We're going to just go.
Yeah. Could you imagine though putting that career on the line right there, just saying, "Well, they've just sacked our mate. There's
James
a lot
May,
of money coming in here."
James May wanted to leave to become a teacher.
Wow.
Can you imagine him? Wouldn't he be awesome as a teacher? Wouldn't you love?
I've watched a lot of his shows actually.
He's
I
really good,
enjoy it.
actually. Well, you can imagine him teaching a classroom, can't you? No, there'll be a single kid messing up because he says, "Look, I'll get Jezza involved in this." You know what he did to producers?
Oh god, get James May, fucking Richard Hammond, and fucking Jeremy Clarkson down to my kids' school. Whip them into shape.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd be brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant. I am seriously, I am so glad that they all left. Faux Grand Tour to go to Grand Tour. I'm glad that it's working out for them, and I hope it continues and it has a long life, like faux Grand Tour.
Did you see the story they did where the episode they did of Top Gear after he wasn't carrying on?
Faux Grand Tour. Yeah.
They had James May, which introduced the last remaining segments they'd filmed. They did a
right.
program. Did you see that one?
No.
Well, it's quite funny because they're in the empty Top Gear studio, no audience. They're saying these are the sort of bits that were left off, and the background was a white elephant. Oh, well done,
God.
guys. Well done, guys.
Good job.
Right. Moving on. Game hardware other news. I saw this week and I went, really? They've lost their mind? Eve has gone free to play.
Wait. Wasn't it always?
No, it's subscription based.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
They've
dropped.
They've been holding out against the subscription base for years. After nearly all the ones that MMOs that started before them or after them have all gone free to play. Eve just said, no, we're going to be subscription based. But they've now gone free to play.
I can only think now of 2 MMOs that require a subscription.
Elder Scrolls, that's still is that free to play?
No, that's free to play. That's free to play and it's shit. Oh my god, man!
At least it's free. At least it's free. Then that's
I
amazing.
punked out so many people when I played that game. I screamed and raged so loud. I, for once in my life, became a griefer in a video game. And I was in the middle of... I actually had a discussion with another player to the point that I actually raged through my control pad and had to power down the system. Otherwise, I'd have probably left my house and punched the player out.
Nice.
So, I fucking hate that game. It's such a horrible game. Even Divine in the chat... He joined us for... we were told that we weren't... I said the game sucked. I was told I hadn't given the game enough of a chance. We all sat there for about 5 hours extra in-game. We still all agreed it sucked dick. And we're still told we didn't give it enough of a chance.
How much chance you want to give the game? If a game can't entice you in within the first 5-6 hours, it's doing something wrong.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'd played
there are some games which don't click for the first 2 or 3 hours, but something should click within the 2-3 hours.
Yeah. I think I'd played it myself, just me. I think I'd played it for going on 8 to 12.
Yeah.
And I still didn't like it.
One of my other podcasts I listen to, the guy in there, his rule is if he doesn't grip within 2 hours, he doesn't play it again.
Yeah.
Because a game can't grip in 2 hours, it's doing something wrong.
Especially in MMO. If
you want people to dedicate hours and hours of their life to it, you need to grip them.
Yeah, and to me the combat system was horribly broken in Elder Scrolls Online. Especially for me, I'm a sword and board player, I'm a tank. And I had no fun playing as a tank in that game.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it. My argument was that it played... And this is going to sound stupid. My gripe was that the combat was kind of crappy, like Skyrim. Which makes sense because, you know, it is an Elder Scrolls game. But then someone argued with me, the person who was arguing with me said that the game is nothing like Skyrim. I was like, well, how could it be nothing like Skyrim if it's part of the Elder Scrolls series and the city, whatever it is, Skyrim, is actually in the game? How is it nothing like Skyrim? So, either way, other MMOs that have still got a subscription. Final Fantasy 11, believe it or not, still has a subscription.
But that's only like sort of 6 or 7 quid, isn't it?
Yes. Well, it's practically dead as well. I resubscribed just to check.
Is it? It's died off, is it?
Near enough. There was like 3 people on the entire server. The main city that my class kind of comes from was practically empty. There was nothing.
Really?
There. It was bizarre. That said, it is one of the oldest MMOs that I've ever played.
Yeah.
It came out when we were in college.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft still has a subscription.
I thought it went free to
play up to level 20.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, you are right.
And then, oh no, Final Fantasy 14 still has a subscription as well.
Yeah.
That's the newer one. That's
what I was thinking of. Sorry, that's what I was thinking
14 still has a subscription.
Do you not think free to play is going to be the future of MMOs for a general?
Yes. Yeah. I personally think so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're having to shell out all this cash to play a game. Yeah.
And the thing is, in the case of Eve, you still have to pay money to upgrade your ships. So it's still got microtransactions in it. Before they were called microtransactions in it. Which no one seems to complain about. Everybody else, any other game that did that, everybody complained because it's Eve, and you do not anger the Eve fan base. You do not anger them.
I think the Eve fan base were enough to DDoS like most of the world.
Yeah, yeah. There was PC Gamer did top 100 ones where you could vote online, and basically Eve was like number sort of 8 or 9. And then someone told the fan base that you could vote for it, and it went to like number 1. But it's just
Oh,
like, it's
God.
like, well done, guys. I do appreciate that. But yeah, no, I think I once described the Eve fan base as a sleeping wolf. A sleeping wolf is quite nice. You want them to cuddle it occasionally, but you do not anger it.
Yeah, for sure. Jesus Christ. I'd poke most fan base with a stick, but that one.
No,
fuck
not
you.
Eve. Eve, we're scared of Eve.
I'm
fan
fucking.
base.
I'm crazy, not stupid. Did they not tie in a console?
Yes,
game?
Dust 514 or something.
Something like that.
And the idea was
that with
I
the
know
consoles were on the planets.
yes,
And,
and the Eve players could hire the players in the console version as like mercenaries.
To do stuff. Yeah.
And I think there was a plan at one point. I don't know if they ever implemented where an Eve player could somehow shoot his laser at the planet, and then the console games would have this like auto iron cannon come down. And
That'd
hit
be
something.
rad. I don't know if that ever happened. I really wanted to play the console game. Actually,
I think it basically, from what I know about, is I think it wasn't that great a shooter, or it was a very Eve-like shooter, which put a lot because John's. No offense to console players, they tend out they're more Gears of War and Call of Duty and less Rainbow Six on PC and less Operation, less Armored Assault type games, aren't they? I think Eve was too much down. There was never going to be that sort of competitive multiplayer online.
Yeah, I was probably going to say that Eve isn't the kind of the fan base wouldn't mesh well together.
No,
I
think the Eve fan base, if you're an Eve player, you tend to be in it for the long haul. Whereas most shooters tend to have maybe 18 months, 2 years at most lifespan. You know, even when the big ones like Battlefield and Call of Duty comes out. I mean, Call of Duty has that because it basically do on every 6 weeks. There is a new Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But Battlefield generally has sort of an 18 months to 2 year lifespan before it drips off quite a lot. I think anyway. So I think that was the issue there. Is they weren't going to get the dedicated hardcore fan base who would play for these. The other thing is on the PC version is you upgrade the PC, but Eve is still there. Whereas on a console, at some point the console's going to be a new console, and most of the stuff's going to disappear with it.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think ever. I never thought it was going to take. I thought they might do it by strongly down because I just don't think you've got enough hardcore console players who would play that game day in day out forever. Which is how they rely with Eve. They're hardcore as hardcore. And I say I love the stories of Eve. Whenever it's the one game that generates such fantastic stories of political intrigue and these massive space battles that go on.
I was going to say they've had insane.
There was
wars.
one space battle they said where it cost the total damage done in total something like £300,000. Total real money damage was done in this massive war because it costs, and that actually means in some ways makes it more realistic because when you're playing it, when you're actually dealing with real money, and if you fuck up and lose, when someone loses a big dreadnought, that's a real fuck up. You've really like, oh, that's £100 gone, or how much it costs for a dreadnought, or how much I don't know how you, because it's got this weird system where you can there's 2 different currencies in the game. There's a currency that controls playtime, and you can earn that by doing missions. And then there's one that's like real. I don't quite understand it.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. That's one of the games that I would have loved to have played, but I just didn't think I'd have enough time to.
I don't think I'd have the I just don't think I have the dedication to play it as long as it would warrant being played for.
It's one of those games where you really need to be able to get in fucking. You know, you're going to jump in head first and you're going to stay there for a long time. It's apparently
really unfriendly start. It's a really hard game to get into. Once you get into it, it's really good, but it's a really unforgiving game to start with. Yeah. You know, you can. It's.
You'll know if you're hardcore from the start. You'll know if you're ready for it.
It's like a really hard version of Elite Dangerous.
And I still haven't. I'm still yet to actually fire up Elite Dangerous properly.
That's really embarrassing.
I've dicked around in it, but I've not actually properly got on there and played it. I was tempted to do it today.
But you didn't.
Yeah, not had a chance yet.
So yeah, Eve free to play.
I didn't even realise it had a subscription. That's fucking bizarre.
That's amazing. But there you go.
They finally let it go.
Took long enough.
Yeah.
Right, on to weird news.
How many bizarre things have we got coming from Yankeeville?
Let's have a look. Do you class Canada as part of Yankeeville?
No.
No, cool. That's one. One.
Oh, divine. He's talking about our time when we went into Elder Scrolls Online. Now, he says that I killed a bloke. I'm pretty sure Divine swung at someone, which then got a bounty put on our heads.
What he says, is this a case of you both swung at them? No one can confirm who led the killing blow. You're both involved in this. You can't. That doesn't work in court.
All three of us had to run from the village because we were outlaws.
That doesn't work in court. He hit the killing blow. No, he hit the killing blow. No,
well, it doesn't matter. You didn't even have to kill someone. You just had to swing at them, and that was enough for all the guards in the land to come after you. You're an outlaw at that point. You could not go back unless you were willing to.
And the guards were somehow psychic. As soon as you walked back in the village, they instantly knew who you were.
That was it.
Yeah,
that's it. It's like somehow you've gone, like, I don't know, 200 miles across the land, and they still know who you are.
That's something they've never implemented properly in the games. I think they should implement where NPCs have a recognition that if they see you do it, they know you are. Next time you come, they all know who you are. Yeah. Anyone who other guards might get like a vague description of you. So they may look and you think. So if you get too close, they might recognise you. But other than that, but each guy has their own thing. But as you get more notorious, you more well know.
There should be a spread.
Yeah.
More of a spread. So it takes time for that information to get about, and it's not as solid as games make it.
So you can, if you're careful, when you go back to the village, if you miss the guard who you originally tagged, perhaps you did something distinctive somehow, perhaps you have like sort of number bands on the arm, so they sort of see their rank or name, whatever. If you avoid him, you can sort of carry on working with the village, and perhaps but don't get to do the other guards, they might recognise you. That'd be a system they should implement.
Yep.
Anyway.
Weird news.
Going on holiday, I don't know if you've gone on holiday very often, probably very rarely.
Very rarely, yeah.
But I've found a tour for you if you go on holiday.
Okay.
It's San Vero in I don't actually know which country this is. That's a bad mistake. Bosnia. It's in Bosnia, okay.
God, that's
you can have a tour where you've missed it now because I only did it once of a pavement. Pavement has become a light subject of media attention in Savero after officials invited journalists on a tour of the newly repaved section outside the Presidency building.
There's pavements outside my
house.
But
this is outside the Presidency building, and it's got wheelchair access.
Fuck. All right.
A press release told journalists to arrive at 11:45 for security checks in time for their midday tour. It said full government officials would be on hand to show them around the pavement, including the Deputy Chief Secretary of the Presidency. Some newspapers called it the event of the year, and it was one broadcasted live on Facebook for all those who were unable to attend. It was done in jest, I will say. On the day, only one official showed up. They lied. Local ministry head Nazad Anzik. He told Paws the granite was actually meant to highlight improved access to sail people across the city, but when asked why it wasn't mentioned in the press releases, he simply said he did not issue them. People obviously had mocked about it on Twitter and online, but I don't give a shit about them. Apparently people were protesting, denouncing the expense of the pavement, saying that £160,000, equivalent of, in their currency, called 360,000 convertible marks.
Convertible to
£156,000. One sign, long live the presidential pavement, theft of hospitals, schools, buildings and water. Didn't know where the pavement started, that sort of thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Apparently it took months of construction work. And finally over appeal. I know a guy who did that, who laid pavement in a weekend for you. And finally so people can get past more easily. He also struck a philosophical note. As far where we are going and if we have anywhere to arrive at, I'm not so sure. Apparently a local dance club danced over the pavement afterwards. They weren't invited though, they just did it for lulz really.
As you do.
This one, you'll love this one, because I know how much you love pop culture and all people want pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
A town in Finland discussing whether to name two roads Emoji Street and Meme Street.
Oh, God.
I thought you'd like this one. The names, which I'm now going to try and pronounce in Finnish, Emoji Jaku and Mimamikatu, have been proposed as part of the plans for a new commercial zone just west of Helsinki. The town plan committee has approved the plans, but the council are asking locals for their thoughts.
No.
Architect and town planner Gina says the committee wants to bring street names up to date so the future generations get a sense of 21st century life.
Don't do that! Bury my face!
But, yeah. We want a town that speaks to modern times. We have almost run out of plant, tree and bird names in the area. Mr. Tillis says when residents arrive, they ask for new street names. Everybody wants to live on Blueberry Street or Silver Birch Street, both which are already out there.
Whoever goes to Meme Street is going to get beat the shit out of. I'm just saying.
By the latest meme.
Oh, God.
Apparently one person says, how can we stop this? It's awful. And another said it would be epic to leave on Meme Street because again we're on to Twitter and Twitter people are idiots.
Hashtag Boulevard.
Hashtag Boulevard. Yeah. Where do you live? Oh, I'm very old fashioned. I live on Pop Free Street.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Bias Drive.
Why aren't we naming this stuff?
Yeah. Oh, you could have the post office.
Does it post?
Yeah, exactly. CMOS Road. My God, days using computer acronyms.
What are we gonna? What's BIOS got to be? We got anything for BIOS?
BIOS Drive.
BIOS Drive. BIOS Drive. What else can we have? Northbridge.
Northbridge Computing.
We have that.
I know.
Oh, God.
Oh dear. You've already got the bus.
Oh, dear. Well, I think that this is a bit out of the scope of emojis and memes.
I know. If ever I want to start a computer themed show conference, how they have like gate A, gate B, gate C. I'm going to have the AND gate, the OR gate, the XOR gate, and the NOT gate.
Oh, God.
That would be there. I'm seriously. I need to go arrange a show.
Amazon. We've got a show.
On to slightly old weird news, but I thought I can't.
Slightly old.
Well, about a couple of months, but I had to put it in there because it's just so amusing.
Go on.
It's the start of a horror film. You're a Russian scientist. You're in the Arctic at a weather station.
Yeah. Sounds normal.
Yes, sort of thing. And then disaster. Polar bears arrive.
Wait.
Russian scientists have driven away polar bears that besieged their weather station on the island of the Arctic Ocean for 2 weeks. The nearby ship was able to reach and supply them with dogs. Supply them with dogs, I like that. Supply them with dogs and flare to scare off the bears. 5 scientists at the base of the weather station on Trodnoy Island in the Kara Sea north of Serbia were encircled by 10 adult bears and some cubs licking their lips, presumably.
Aww.
The Russians say TASS reported on Monday. A female bear taken to Spain nights beneath the station sleeping beneath the station windows with one of the 2 resident dogs was killed on the 31st of August. Apparently, they at some point had to go there's a generator, but obviously, being a horror film, as this basically is, the generator wasn't in the main building, it was outside. So every so often, someone had to draw the short straw to go out there and refill the generator with fuel.
There'll be a sequel, Zombie Polar Bears.
Yeah. They ran out of flares to deter the predators. So initially, the next supply ship was due in about a month, but luckily a ship nearby was able to divert and go there early.
Zombie polar bears from outer space.
Yes. They were told to use extreme caution and to only remain at the station at all times unless in the most serious circumstances. Unfortunately, it does mean meteorological work was suspended. Which is why we've now got terrible weather reporting at the moment.
Oh, God.
Apparently, someone said to TASS, things like this happen all the time before on Troy Island. It's because bears inhabit the area. Apparently, though, the number of bears was not standard. I don't know what a standard number of bears is, but 10 isn't it?
I reckon we could make 6 or 7 dodgy films out of this.
We could.
Like, if they made sequels to Sharknado, I'm pretty sure we could make this into an actual film.
Yeah.
People are sat there, Blair Witch style.
Yeah, based on a real story.
Oh, God. This is so good.
Apparently, the bears usually go to other islands, but this year they didn't.
This year they said, fucking hell, what's that?
Well, apparently, I was seeing too quickly and they couldn't swim to the other islands in time. There's no food on us, so they went to the station instead and thought, well, we know there's some food.
Look!
I'm like, it's a pity it's all stuck in a can. Who's got the can opener?
Start licking the humans.
Apparently 3 occupants arrested was also stuck last year with aggressive bears. Not any bears, but aggressive bears. Apparently, a member of the geological team from another company called Elosa was killed by a bear. The man called for help, but fellow employees arrived to only find his mangled body and see a brown bear running away. The environmental minister later said Later said it had shot the bear. Like Mr. Reddit thought he said he had shot the bear. Like he said, right, I'm going out there. I'm flying out there and shooting that darn bear. Kill one of our own.
Oh dear.
Now on to your favourite, the American Story.
I really want to make a horror film out of that now.
It's a good horror film.
That'd be brilliant.
Imagine if you combine the thing. So stuck inside the thing, or they've got polar bears outside.
Right, there you go. Right, start writing the script. Get on this.
Yeah, we'll do. We want to film something. Where are we going to find an Arctic set, though, is the question. Global warming. The UK's quite warm now. It's hard to... We only get, like, snow, like, for half an hour every year or so.
That might just do it.
Why just say, guys, it's snowing. Let's get the film gear. Let's get us done quick. We can convert this shed into an Arctic base. It's cold enough.
Yeah, there you go.
It's cold enough in here as it is. So
Just block everything out so it looks like it's snowing outside.
Yeah.
No one will ever know.
Just get a fan and blow some shredded newspaper at the door. And every time we open the door, just have those.
Yeah.
So on to the American school. A school in Portland, Oregon has grain. Now, I don't know if you want to consider sending your sons to this, if you lived over there. They have allowed a local satanic temple to set up an after-school program.
Fucking hell.
It will educate pupils. Pupils are educated between 5 and 10 who have the opportunity to attend a satanic club inaugural meeting on October the 19th. This is a bit old as well, unfortunately. Apparently, the spokesman for said the club would focus on science and rational thinking. What it's got to do with Satan, I don't know.
Thought and questions is like kryptonite to religion.
Right, okay. So. Benevolence and empathy for everybody, and it's designed to provide alternative voice to the Bible-centered Good News Club. On its after-school Satan Club website, it says it is starting after-school clubs to provide alternative evangelical Christian organisations that are of similar problems in many schools across the US. Apparently, it's currently limited as the program is very new. Across those parents concerned about don't give a shit about that.
Fucking hell! When you put it in the fucking weird news, don't give a shit.
Apparently, across those parents are concerned about encroachments by prioritising evangelism in their public schools and are eager to establish the presence of a contrasting voice that helps children to understand that one doesn't need to submit to spruces in order to be a good person.
Bit of a mouthful in it.
Breathe.
Was that a bit much?
Yes, it was. That was quite a long sentence. Apparently, some people are not happy about it, as you can imagine.
It's America.
No, it's happening. Right, royalty. Things are going badly, particularly for King of West African tribe. He said to return to Canada to resume his job as a gardener. He wants to raise money to provide healthcare for his new subjects. Eric Banu became royalty when his 7-year-old uncle, Dat, passed away last year. After living in Canada for 3 years with his wife and small son, he moved back to southern Ghana to take up his birthright. He said, "It's a huge experience. You have to embrace your passion. It's something of my heritage, my culture, my traditions." Unfortunately, he decided he's gone back to North America because he needs to take his old job back because he's not got enough money to pay for healthcare. So he's basically going to work to basically pay for healthcare for his 6,000 strong tribe. Apparently, sometimes he goes to a job site, they say, "You're the chief, I saw you on TV, why are you doing landscaping?" This is humbleness, you understand. Anytime I'm in Canada, I'm proud to work for my boss. Sounds like a nice guy, actually. When he first moved, his boss, Susan Webb, started a foundation called To the Moon and Back, which sent the young king off with a shipment of full school supplies, clothing, laptops, and medical supplies. I don't know what the name's got anything to do with, Ghana. To the Moon and Back. Doesn't really make sense. He says, so basically he's there. His idea is he's trying to basically he said the village is quite poor. They've only got a clinic and a midwife and a few nurses. There is no doctor on site. But I think it's quite a sweet story. Your king, can you imagine Lizzie doing that? Oh, Queen Liz, can you imagine her going to all working like
Maybe if I called her up and pulled in a few
Do you reckon
favours.
we go to work in a charity shop or Boots or something? Tesco's?
I'll get a bit of a push.
I don't know. She'd probably work in Waitrose.
Is Marks and Spencer still a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe.
I can imagine working Marks and Spencer's.
Lizzie?
Selling those little trolleys with tartan that all ladies all seem to have. I can see her doing that. Yeah.
Treason still a thing?
No, well it is, but you can't be killed for it now.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
We're
Cool.
safe.
We're safe. This is a mini weird news story.
Mini?
Really weird. I saw it, but I had to put it in there because I thought we'd go.
Are we getting a new segment? Mini weird news.
I put it in there because I thought I saw that.
Weird news quickies.
This will make you cringe. Well, made me cringe a little bit because I felt so sorry for him.
Okay.
A placement has been found after an enthusiastic bull broke his own penis.
Oh.
A prize bull has been taken off a farmer's breeding program after he suffered a broken penis.
Damn,
The
son.
injury, which the scimitar bull sustained at the beginning of the breeding season, was probably due to being over-enthusiastic, according to owner Tommy Moyles.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Mr. Moyles was forced to bring another bull, which had previously been destined for slaughterhouse, out to provide his services. Now, I suspect the other bull broke this first bull's penis.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm going to be sent to slaughter. I'm going to break that bull's penis, and they'll have to put me out.
What a plot, mate. What a plot. That's brilliant.
But that... Ooh.
That will be the sequel to fucking Horror Polar Bears from Outer Space 3.
I could do a cameo.
Yeah, it's like have a bull break a polar bear's
Why
penis.
is the bull in the sun? Well, he was in Ireland, but unfortunately, he broke his penis and he's now come out here to work instead. There's no work out there. It's the start of a romance story for me now, isn't there?
And then we can have the secondary series comes up, fucking Broken Bull Penis fucking 3 or whatever.
I think there's probably already an internet series out there labelled like that. There's probably more than 3 of them as well.
Yeah, good old internet.
Internet, if it exists. Someone will Google that for us and send us the link.
God, no! No! Keep that away from our internet connections. Especially now that the Snoopers chatter is in. Fuck! Oh, God, we're doomed.
Yeah,
The shit that we put on the internet, we're doomed.
we are. I don't know what you're talking about. What's the Snoopers chart?
Don't worry about it. Look, I've got my... Well, I haven't got my tinfoil hat. I haven't got it with me, but...
Do I need to hide?
Yes.
I have no idea if this is working. Is it working?
Near enough.
Cool.
Oh, where's he gone? Where's he gone?
Ada!
He's there! Yeah! Good job, mate.
Now, the audio viewers missed this. I just covered myself with a t-shirt that happened to be the same colour as Skaz's blue screen, which means I disappeared. This is how they do a Harry Potter special effect, and it's almost as good. I mean, look. It's almost as good as the actual Harry Potter one, isn't it?
It is.
It's very good, yeah.
It's got that shimmer to it.
It's like similar to it, where, yeah.
Ours is better.
Ours is a lot better, yeah. Except that Harry Potter didn't have to walk around with a shirt like this all day long. I can't see where I'm going.
Oh,
Go for the arm. It's like, oh no, it's long sleeve.
No!
Short sleeve, I could do it.
Why does he keep walking in? Why do I keep getting knocked over?
Why do I keep hearing Harry Potter going, ow! Oh, for fuck's sake, I've done my toe again.
I keep on seeing this. Oh, it's almost as good as the anti-gravity hay bales. Oh, good times.
Yeah. He could write that was the original version of that scream, rather than riding brooms around anti-gravity hay bales everywhere. The local version of the local version of Harry the farmer's version of Harry Potter.
The Norfolk version.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right then, I think it's time to end because
Good
you've
job.
got a date,
Yep.
which we were meant to leave about 10 minutes ago, but that's alright.
Yeah.
Not a date with us, too. I will point out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for watching up with the TheSuffolkRam,
Skazis.
and we'll see you in a fortnight.
Yeah.
We might be a threesome again. You never
Yeah.
know if you're lucky.
The Queen might turn
If you
up.
play your cards right. See you later, guys.